Hey everybody, Crazy Cricket back again with another video today. In today's video, I'm doing a video of my two Ready Slider turtles. So in this video, I'm going to be going over some care tips and some information about these turtles and tank setups, all different things that I do to take care of them on a regular basis. This is my opinion, this is what I do to take care of my Ready Sliders. But I will also be giving a few tips in case you actually want to get a Ready Slider or two for yourself. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. So first I'm going to talk about the tank size. But first you're going to need to take in consideration of how big the turtle will grow, which is determined whether the turtle is male or female. As with any type of aquatic turtle, males always stay smaller than females. So with Ready Slider turtles, the males usually get 6 to 8 inches in length, and the females usually get 10 to 12 inches in length. So when choosing a tank, bigger is always best, but usually a good rule of thumb is 10 gallons of tank for every inch of shell the turtle has. But the tank really does not have to be that big as for a single male Ready Slider. You could keep it in a 40-gallon breeder aquarium, and for a single female Ready Slider you could keep it in a 75-gallon aquarium. But as the turtle grows, if it outgrows those size, like some of them get bigger and some stay smaller, so you're going to want to make accommodations depending on the size of the turtle. So yeah, that's it for the tank setup. Now I'm going to talk about food and water conditioners that I use for my turtles. So first I'm going to talk about water conditioners. Now water conditioners are a good thing to have as it removes the bad chemicals that are found in tap water, so it doesn't harm your turtle. Because tap water now contains a lot of chlorine, chloramines, heavy metals, ammonia. There's a lot of different chemicals that it contains now that RepuSafe will remove and make the water safe for your pet. So I like to use RepuSafe. That's the one I like to use. There is other brands, like another brand I have used before is Tetra Aquasafe for reptiles. I've had bad luck with it because it's the green bottle you'll see at your local pet shop or local grocery store that has a pet department. It's the green bottle, and that stuff I don't like because, like, when I would put feeder fish in the water with the turtles and they didn't eat them right away, they would just drop dead. And it didn't harm the turtles, but it killed the feeder fish. And it would always just kill the feeder fish in the water. And I would always have to keep putting new feeder fish in there because it was the water conditioner, because it didn't remove all the stuff or add the right chemicals, add the right slime coat or right stuff in the water. It didn't add nothing right to the water, or it didn't remove something, I don't know, but it always killed the minnows. RepuSafe has always been the best. I've always used it. It's good for fish. It'll keep the fish alive, and it keeps amphibians healthy. It provides all different stuff for different reptiles and amphibians. It removes chlorine, chloramines, ammonia. It adds electrolytes. It adds slime coat. It adds a lot of different things to the water, and it detoxifies the chemicals that are found in tap water that are bad for the animals. So yeah, this has always been the best water conditioner I've used. I've always used this ever since that other water conditioner I'd used. But also you could use AquaSafe, like for fish, or Prime that you use for fish. You can use different water conditioners you would use for fish, but I always have just used the reptile stuff. I have the other stuff that I use for my fish, like if I run out of ReptiSafe or need to quickly add water to the turtle tank, I will use the other stuff. It doesn't hurt, but you can, but you don't have to buy this stuff for reptiles. I always just do because it's better for the reptiles. It's made specifically for reptiles. But yeah. So now I'm going to move on to feeding. So I like to feed them the Zoomed Natural Aquatic Turtle Food with added vitamins and minerals. Right here I have the growth formula, which is what I use for these turtles. I have the maintenance formula, which is what I feed the bigger turtles that I have, and they will be moved to this eventually, or to the other stuff eventually. Just not right this minute, or just not like at the moment. But I have been feeding them growth formula for a while, since they are between 2 and 6 inches. And then when they hit 6 inches plus, then I'll move them on to their bigger food. But there's also the baby food or hatchling formula for turtles up to 2 inches, which I have that too since I have some baby turtles. So yeah, I have all the food, so I can always move them up. And I also feed them other foods, like I feed them the Zoomed freeze-dried big red shrimp. They really like that a lot. I use them as treats mostly. I use it, not every day, but I use it, maybe once every week or twice a week. I would use it, not as often. But I also feed them, I'll feed them sometimes mealworms or super worms. I'll feed them crickets off the surface of the water sometimes, just as treats. I'll also sometimes throw in a couple night crawlers since I go fishing. I have night crawlers. Sometimes I'll throw those in. I'll also feed them leftover fishing minnows. I feed them, I'll actually go buy rosy red minnows or fathead minnows or shiner minnows, or I'll also buy feeder guppies. Shiner minnows you can only buy at a bait shop. You cannot buy them pet store. I've seen one pet store that carries them. I don't know if your pet store will carry them, but if they do, you can get them there. But as far as I know, there's one that's a long time away from me, like hours away, that carries them, and they're a little bit cheaper up there, but I just go to the bait shop that's local, and I get them. They're perfectly safe. I've never had a problem with them. So, yeah. So now, you just never want to feed them goldfish. Goldfish are not healthy. Do not buy them goldfish. They're just full of chemicals and fat, and they can carry ick and diseases, but usually those goldfish aren't going to pass on to turtles, but they will pass on like bigger fish and stuff. But as long as you quarantine, if you quarantined them for a long time and treated them and all that, it's not worth it. But if you did, you could keep them. You could feed them the goldfish if you keep the goldfish real healthy and keep them in an understocked tank, like not fully stocked with goldfish, and you kept them, got them very healthy before you fed them. But it's really not worth it. They're full of fat. I don't really agree with people feeding fish, bigger fish like Oscars, cichlid, different things like that, or turtles of any kind, goldfish. I don't like them. I think the goldfish are best kept as pets in aquariums or ponds. I think they're so, they're real cool to keep in aquariums. They make really good pets. I think that, I don't think they even should be sold, but people buy them, so they're gonna just keep selling them, I guess. But yeah, I also will. Yeah, I'll use feeder guppies sometimes. Just depends on what store I'm at and where I can get them from and what's cheapest usually. As feeder guppies are a little more expensive, but they will breed in the tank if they don't get eaten and they have places to hide. I have bred them before in the tanks with. Well, I bred them with something else. They were in another setup, but I don't think it was with a turtle. I don't know. I can't really remember. It was a while ago. But yeah, so I'm gonna feed. But with all feeder fish, you probably should quarantine them though, for at least maybe a week or two at least beforehand. And make sure that they're all fed and healthy before you feed them to the other animals. So now I'm gonna feed the turtles some pellets, like I did in the African side neck turtle video. These turtles actually all live together. So I'm gonna sprinkle some food in. I'm just feeding them this amount. They haven't been fed today. Yet none of the turtles in that tank. So now I'm gonna feed these. I'm just feeding them a little bit for the video. I usually feed them a little more. I don't know, and then if they have leftover, I just won't feed them the next day. And I'll just feed them, as needed, as they don't have food in the tank. I don't know if they're gonna eat on camera though. They might be kind of scared. So, yeah. Now I'm gonna talk about stuff that you would need, like, for the setup. Now, for the setup, I'd recommend, to begin with is your tank, and then you're gonna want to have a stand that attaches to it. You're gonna want to have, or that it sits on, and then you're gonna want to have a lid. You're gonna want to have a filter that is for at least the size of tank that the turtle will be going in. That will be enough filtration for that size of tank. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter really as much if if the water is lower, you could get away with a little bit smaller filter. But yeah, I would always recommend the highest amount of filter. The biggest filter you can get is going to be the best. So, for instance, the male radius slider, if you're keeping it in a 40-gallon tank, I'd recommend minimum a 40-gallon internal Whisper 10 or 40i filter in the tank to keep it clean. And then you're going to want to do weekly water changes. If you don't have a filter, you're gonna need to do daily or every other day water changes. But if you feed your fish, they will die. So you're gonna need to have some kind of. I would recommend some kind of filtration to keep your water quality very good and to keep it free of ammonia. So you're gonna need to have your tank on a stand, or a table or something sturdy enough to hold it, and then you're gonna want to have a filter. But so, I'm just gonna be giving an example of the male. So if you have a male rated slider in a 40-gallon breeder aquarium on a stand, and then you're going to want to have a Tetra 40i Whisper internal power filter. Then you're going to want to have a turtle dock. You can either use the cheap ZoomEd ones, you can use a turtle topper type dock that goes above the tank, but then you can't have a lid, which is kind of a problem to hang the lights on, to set the lights on. So I have those on one of my tanks, and then I have the thing, actually the lamps go above the turtle dock, but they're not very much room. You have to use small lamps, and it's not that good. So I would just say a regular turtle dock. You can get one that's made by Reptology, the Reptology brand, and you can put the turtle dock, as long you can use the Exoterra magnetic ones. You can use any of them as long as it's big enough for the turtle to get out of the water and be able to completely dry off. You want it to be completely dry. You don't want the dock to sink under the water when the turtle is on. You want it to be completely dry. You can also use these three are actually, or these two radius sliders in my African side neck are in a tank with a Vicarium setup, Tetrafauna Vicarium, and it's filled with gravel, a land section filled with gravel, and then there's a waterfall that goes in the corner the water comes in through these divide, a rock thing. It comes in and then it goes and gets filtered through the gravel. It comes through filter cartridges in the little chambers, and then it comes through and gets pumped up down the waterfall. on a waterfall bed, the river bed or whatever you want to call it. And then it's filled with gravel in there, and then I also have a separate Whisper 10i filter from Tetra that sits in the water section to keep it extra clean, and my tank stays crystal clear. And then I don't really do water changes that often, so I keep it very clean. And yeah, so also you're gonna want to have a screen lid. And the screen lid is gonna be very necessary if you are gonna need to have, you're gonna need to have the lamps able to sit on the lid, and you're gonna want to have heat and UVB. You're gonna need UVB for sure. You could get away with as simple as an aquarium hood with a UVB bulb just sitting on the lid and then a heat bulb. But what I would say is you have a few different options. You can put a UVB bulb, you can have a light fixture. I would say the ExoTerra compact top, the double bulb fixture. You can't have heat bulbs in it. You can only have UVB because the heat will melt it, and it's only rated for up to 26 watts. So you're going to want to have the two bulbs in there. You can use the compact fluorescents, or you can use the ReptiSun bulbs from ZoomEd, those little compact fluorescents. You're going to want to put two of them in there, and you're going to want to get the biggest wattage that you're going to want the 26 watt, but you're going to want to get the 10.0s, the highest output bulb, or the compact fluorescent from ExoTerra. They're the ReptiGlows, and they used to come in the 2.0s, 5.0s, and 10.0s, but they still come in the 13 and 26 watt. They now come in 100, 150, and 200s, which the 200 is going to be the best. And you can get a 26 watt. You can either do two of the 13 watt or 26 watt. Either one will work. You just want to have two of those in the light fixture, or two ReptiSun 26 watt 10.0s in there. Or if you wanted to, you could have a 200, a compact fluorescent, or the ReptiSun. You could just have one bulb in there in a single fixture. You could have a bigger one in a single fixture, or you can do two smaller ones. Two 13 watts, or you could do one 26 watt, or you could do two 26s. It just depends on where you're at and where you can get them. If you can get two 26 watts in the double fixture, that'd be great. But yeah. And then another option for UVB would be to get a strip light or two fluorescent light, and you can set that in a light fixture across the tank right above the turtle dock, right in front of the heat bulbs you're going to have. And then you're going to have that across, and then you're going to want to have two heat bulbs. Or you could have one heat bulb. You could have a ceramic heat emitter or a red night bulb on 24/7 for heat. But then they burn out quicker. So if you want to use less bulbs, if you want to keep using the same bulbs and you don't want to have them burn out as quick, you can use two of them. I'd say either for heat, for daytime, you can use a turtle top bulb, either a turtle top bulb, a daytime blue day bulb, or you can use a what are those things called? Ceramic heat emitters for during the day. And you're going to want to look at something, you're going to be looking at something around 100 watts each. You're going to want a 100 watt turtle top bulb or a 100 watt basking bulb. Those are the two I would use. And then you're going to want to have a night bulb. And you can get a double deep dome fixture from ZoomEd if you wanted to. You don't have to. You could have two separate deep domes. You could have two separate lamps. But you're going to want to be looking at the ones that are, the basking bulb, you're going to want the flat ones. The bulb usually like a regular light bulb is rounded on the end. You can get ones that are flat, so that they fit up in the bulb. The bulb fits up in the lamp better. And if they're the rounded ones, they usually stick out and they don't work too good. They're usually made bigger for some reason. So I like to have like a flat one, but you can use whatever. Like if you have a deep dome, they'll fit down in a deep dome, I think. But not just, I think I have used those before, the bigger ones. I usually get the flat ones though. So you're gonna want to get the you're gonna want to get the daytime white basking bulb, or like from Zilla, or the Zoomed Recti basking bulb that's 100 watt, and then you're gonna want to get the red night bulb 100 watt from either Zoomed or Zilla. You can actually get a combo pack that has the basking bulb and night bulb combo, and you can get 100 watt one, and then you can get the deep dome combo fixture. You can actually get the deep dome, the double deep dome, the mini double deep dome, the smaller ones, and then you can get the twin pack of the bulbs, the double pack, the dual pack of the domes, double. You can put both of those together. They all come together in one box. You can get a lighting kit at a local pet store or online. And then for the UVB, yeah, like what I said, you also have another option for UVB and heat. So like you'll either have the 2 UVBs or 1 UVB, and then you're gonna have the heat, the day and night bulb, or you're gonna want to have, like, you can have those, or you can actually, another option is, if you would like to, you could actually get either from Exoterra, it's Solar Glow from Exoterra, or Power Sun from Zoomed, or Fluker's had the Sunspot bulb, I think, something like that. Several different brands make mercury vapor bulbs, and you're going to be looking at either a 100 watt Power Sun, or a 100 watt Sunspot, or a 125 watt Solar Glow. I recommend the 100 watt Solar Glow, or 125 watt Solar Glow. That's what they come in, the smaller ones. There's also some that are small, like 75s or 70 watts, 90 watts, something like that. Those will not work. Those are not enough, I don't think. I would not recommend those. I would recommend something that's like at least 100 or 125 watt. And then you can actually put that inside of a regular deep dome, like the large double deep dome, where you can get 2 large double deep, or like 2 large single deep domes. Then you can put that in one, and then put the red 100 watt red night bulb in it, and you can just have those two and switch the UVB heat and UVA bulb. You can turn the mercury vapor bulb on during the day, and then the red one on at night. Like, then you can turn the blue, you can turn the all-in-one bulb, the mercury vapor. You can turn that on during the day, and then at night turn it off and turn on the red one, and then during the day turn off the red one, turn off the other one. Like, or you can put them on a timer, like the Zilla Power Center or the Zoomed timer. They also make them at the hardware stores for other purposes, like a multi-purpose one. Some of them are built into power strips. Some of them are just like a double outlet or single outlet ones. They're different ones. You can get all different ones. But yeah, and also, if you're gonna do the 2 UVBs or 1 or 2 UVB bulbs, and then the day basking bulb and the nighttime red bulb, you're gonna want to do the 2 bulbs. Like you're gonna want to turn off the UVB at night and the basking bulb at night. You're gonna want to turn those 3 off at night, or those 2 off at night. The UVB and the daytime heat basking bulb, the turtle top bulb, or whatever, the daytime basking bulb, daytime heat bulb, and then you're gonna turn on the nighttime one at night, and then during the day, in the morning, you're going to turn off the red bulb, and you're going to turn on the UVB and daytime heat bulb. You're going to turn those on and turn the red one off. Like, you're going to turn the red one on just at night, and then in the morning turn that off, and then turn on the other ones. And then at night turn the other ones off and turn on the red one. So you can do that either way. But yeah. So that's heating and lighting. Now for caging, also it kind of goes along with caging, but you can start, but it kind of goes along with the lighting too. You can go with if you want to start, I'm just going to talk about the male. The female will be a little bit different. You can do the same concept with the female, but the male, the filter I was talking about, the 40-gallon Whisper filter that goes down in it, it'll come with a clip and a suction cup. So you can actually put a suction cup on you can have the two suction cups. There's one on the top and one on the bottom of the back of it. And then it also comes with a clip that there's a little notch that you put it on, and then you have the clip sideways, you set sideways, you put the thing through the hole in the clip, and then you turn it and it locks into place on the back of the filter. But you can't have the suction cup on at the same time, the top suction cup. But if you don't have the suction cup on, there's a hole in there and the water will shoot out, but the clip covers it. When you turn the clip, it'll cover it. So yeah. So what I would recommend is, if you're gonna start out with, you could start out with a 20-gallon tank, like a 20 long or a smaller tank, and then as the turtle grows, you can move it then to the bigger tank. But if you don't want to do that, I would just say, you'll have the gravel, the decoration for the hide end, the dock, the filter, the lights, and the screen lid on the stand, and then the tank. You'll have it, if you have it, you could have the filter if you just use the top suction cup and then hold on to the clip and put it somewhere, and then you put the thing down in there and it can go down in the water, and the cord runs out the cord of the screen lid. And if you get the regular one, not the sliding glass lids, those don't work. But those wouldn't really work too well. But yeah, then what you're going to do is you're going to have that filter down in there with just a little bit of water. And when the turtle grows, when it's smaller, and then as it grows, when it gets bigger, you can actually take off that top suction cup. You can hold on to it. I'd recommend holding on to it in case you need it for something. Or another filter you have doesn't come with one. I would just go ahead and hold on to it. You can do anything. You can do other stuff with it. Just go ahead and hold on to it, and then put the clip on, hang it up on the top of the tank, run the cord out the corner of the screen lid, fill up the water, and move the dock up, move everything up, and you can transform you can have the baby turtle grow up in its permanent cage, just move the water level up. And maybe instead of having the heat bulbs, the UVB are going to stay the same whether it's low or high. But since the heat bulbs will be will be higher up from the dock, you're going to want, and then as the dock moves up, you can probably get away, instead of 100-watt bulbs, heat bulbs, you might go to a 75. When they burn out, move them to a 75. You don't have to right away. You don't even have to. I mean, the more heat, they'll be able to thermal regulate. They'll be able to go back and forth from cold to hot. So they can still have that. It's the more heat, it's not that much difference. It's only 25-watt difference. So I just leave the 100-watt on. But yeah, and then as long as you do that, take good care of it, they can live up to about 50 years old. If you take real good care of them, they can live a long time, 30 to 50 years. 50 years is not uncommon. They can live longer than that too, even up to 70 years with proper care if you take really good care of them. So, yeah, you're also going to want to do weekly water changes. I mean, a lot of people prefer filtration. If you have a double filter, if you have a good filter for a tank double in size, an canister filter that goes outside the tank, or a big internal filter, you have double filter, you maybe get away with doing water changes like going longer time without doing them, I would say do it once a week at least. You just have the standard filter for the tank to keep it crystal clear, or keep it clear, and they get the uneaten food that they didn't eat. So yeah, that's about it for the care. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. I don't think so. I think I went over everything. So I think that's it. I think like you're gonna want to feed them. Oh, for feeding, like the amount that you're gonna want to feed, you're gonna want to feed just a small amount every day. And if they're more hungry, if they eat all that, you want to increase it a little bit. And if they don't eat all that every day, they eat and there's some left the next day, just don't feed them and then they'll eat it. Like you can go every other day and they'll eat the leftovers. But if you don't want leftovers in it, just put less. Just kind of figure out how much your turtle eats. I usually feed them every other day, and I put enough food in for all 3 of them, but I'm not sure how hungry they're gonna be. So I usually just sometimes they're more hungry than other days. Some days they're a little more hungry, and some days they're not as hungry. So I kind of just let the food, when it disappears, I usually just add it in one day. I'll add it in today, and maybe tomorrow, if there's still some in there, I won't feed them tomorrow. I'll feed them the next day. Or if there's still some in there the next day, then I'm gonna scoop it out and then feed them. I would go a day in between feedings, but yeah, about how often I would feed them. So yeah, that's it for that. Now I hope you liked this video. If you'd like to see any other videos of these red ear sliders or any of my other videos, if you could, leave it down in the comments down below. If you have any suggestions for any upcoming videos, if you could, leave it down in the comments down below too. Also, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, if you could, leave it down in the comments down below as well. And don't forget to comment, rate, like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, take care.